Hey everybody, welcome back. If you found this, it wasn't by mistake. If you that means you like what I put down. And make sure you're subscribed and make sure you put a like on the video. Helps me break through the echo chamber. Welcome to the Rogue Raven. So I have a lot to talk about. So when you have I try to take a break. Listen, I have my own house to keep in order. So I try to take a break and deal with my own house. I had to harvest some garden. I had, I do real people shit. Okay. Okay. So listen, tonight my chest is heavy and I just need to let some things out. And I tried to take a break because sometimes you need to take a break and you need to sit in your alignment. You have to sit in your spiritual. You need to sit and celebrate the things that the Lord has done for you. You have to sit and focus on your life going forward and the relationships in it. Sometimes you have to go and pick everything out your garden that's ready to go, wash it, and package it up and preserve your stuff and everything because we on that. Okay, we're on that. So I'm not putting any filters on my mouth today. Okay. And I mean, I want to put some filters because YouTube, you need to have some filter on your mouth. And plus, not everybody can go to the cookout. Not everybody invited. You know what's happening now, but you just not invited. You can find your own cookout, make your own cookout, but not everybody can go to the cookout, okay? All right. So that's where the fun is. Okay, so, but for the most part, I'll keep my mouth as transparent as I possibly can. Okay. So, so I needed to take care of me and make sure that I was, good to go for my week and make sure that I had time for my relationship and make time for my friendships and make time to set up my calendar for meetings and things like that and and work and take care of the house. hmm and it's hot outside. Listen, I tried to mow the yard today before I went to work. Oh, I'm with my kitties. This is where we hang out. Okay, my studio is my cat house, so you will see some kitties, and they'll be like, "Hey," like this dude right here. This is my boy. Okay, my boy is freaking awesome. He is so pretty. He's such a pretty kitty. Anyway, so I like to spend time with them. That's why I come out here with them and they can have, you know, they're free range, okay? They have their own house. Oh gosh. Oh, okay. And it's where I find my peace. I get to talk to y'all. Okay. So, I just wanted to unload some of the fuckery that is going on in this country today, okay? I wanted to talk about the straight up and down corruption, racism, because when you put the puzzle together, it just gets it's a deep ass puzzle, okay? So let's talk about Texas primary for Senate. Now, y'all could have this could have been an easy thing, okay? You could have had Jasmine Crockett, who is a fireball of justice, who has a lot of degrees and fights for the people. Doesn't matter who you are, but she makes sure that the people are taken care of because if one person's taken care of, they're all taken care of. She believes in taking care of the people and fighting for the people. Oh, yes, yes. Okay, she got that black girl energy with her spirituality, but apparently it's not that right kind of Christian. So we have she's too feisty. Okay, all right. Now, but we have, Tallarico. And I have, I don't know enough about Tallarico. All I know is he is a straight white man with a family. He's a follower of Christ. He does not believe in the Christian nationalism. Um, and that's what I know about him. I'm sure he's a good man. I'm sure that he does he'll do what he has to do for the people. I am praying that he is not going to be like a Fetterman and vote with the Republicans all the time. I hope that he does what he needs to do and stands for the people of Texas. Okay, and that's what we got. Okay, that's what Texas got. Now, you had Corning and Paxton for the Republican side, and Corning, he wasn't gonna he wasn't gonna win, with Jasmine or Tallarico. I mean, unless they rigged it real good over there, because apparently he just really, I don't know nothing about him, but all I know is what Texas did, that the Republicans did decide they were going to go ahead and bring on in for the primaries to go up against, you know, the Christian straight white man who loves Jesus and talks about Jesus all the time. Y'all picked a criminal. Now let's talk about the criminality of this white man in Texas who was impeached. He was acquitted, but he was impeached on 20 articles, including bribery, abuse of office, obstruction of justice. Charges stem from allegations that he used his office to benefit Austin real estate developer Nate Paul in exchange for personal favors, including home renovations and assistance for an alleged extramarital affair in September of 23. The Texas State Senate acquitted him on all 16 articles tried, allowed him to return to office. So you the man is a criminal. He was he was charged. Uh, sorry, he was impeached. He was impeached, and he was acquitted of the state charges. So since he was acquitted, y'all just let him back on in there. Okay, whatever, whatever. And I do remember. Do y'all remember? His wife was talking about they was getting a divorce because um, he was doing something ungodly that didn't align with being a godly man. Hmm. Yeah, that extramarital affair. Could have just said he was a cheater. So then there was a whistleblower scandal in civil judgment. The impeachment followed a 2020 incident where 8 top deputies reported Paxton to the FBI for alleged corruption. Paxton fired or forced all these aides out. 4 of them filed whistleblower lawsuit, which resulted in a $6.6 billion judgment against Paxton's office. So the only time you go to a settlement or judge, I mean, that a judge ruled that Paxton had admitted to breaking the law to avoid deposition testimony in the case. So you come on, man. Don't forget the securities and fraud case, okay? Shortly after taking office in 2015, he was indicted on 2 first degree felony counts of securities fraud, and one third degree felony count for failing to register an investment advisor. The case, so he illegal stock trading. He just did all that stock trading. That, uh-huh. Or he was doing a Bernie Madoff, one of the two. He paid approximately $271,000 in restitution and completed community service and ethics courses. He had to go to class after he paid all that. The charges were dismissed in 2025 without an admission of guilt. Now, you know what? Let a black man go ahead and do all that. See if you had the opportunity to even pay, let alone do community service and ethics, go to class. Okay. Now we'll talk about the personal controversies. His tenure also marked by personal scandals, including an extramarital affair that came central to his impeachment. His wife, State Senator Angela Paxton, filed divorce in 2025, citing adultery. Additionally, a federal investigation into his conduct regarding Nate Paul was closed by the Department of Justice in early 2025 without charges being filed. So, that's a lot. Texas, what do y'all plan to do? Y'all put the criminal in the house. You just told the robber to take all your shit. You told the robber to come in the house, take all the shit. Here, would you like a glass of water on your way out? Juice? A snack? That's who you want representing you? Money is not going nowhere up in there except for to him and his friends. And I'm just saying, I mean, I'm just looking at the receipts here. I'm just scrolling. That is 4 pages of receipts I just went through. Okay. That's who Trump wanted. That's what he's going to get, right? No, Texas. Y'all come on out there and vote for that white, non Christian nationalist man. Okay? Vote for that dude. He seems like he has his head on his shoulders. Okay? He seems like he's not going to steal from all y'all and then ask for a snack and a drink on the way out the door. That's just my personal opinion. But you could have had that strong ass black woman where it was just beat the hell out of him on the way and with the belt, like grandma, No, grandma didn't hit the baby. She was like, "Those my babies," but you get your ass up in there. Oh gosh, no, one can't have no money. You better use that money for the roads. Okay, all right. I have to laugh a little bit. I'm sorry. Listen, look, y'all. So I cut all my hair off, and I had to do it because I realized that I'm at a certain age. We're in a recession. I don't care what the stock market says. That stock market ain't real. Okay, the stock market is not real. None of us have that stock money. If you watching me, you ain't got that stock money, okay? I'm just saying. I mean, I'm regular folk. I'm regular folk that got a 401k. And yes, they messing with the stocks of my 401k. And I've been seeing all that, whatever. But I have to take a chance on some retirement. I don't know if I want to get that retirement. We in a timeline, y'all. But you know what? We're going to keep on going because I'm going to be positive that I'm going to get that retirement. I'm going to get that money in that retirement. So, I cut my hair off because we're cutting back. Haircut, cut back. Bam. Okay. I realized that I cannot go get my hair done every 3 weeks. No, there is no extra money to get your hair done every 3 weeks unless you want to barter some greens and tomatoes out the garden. That's what I will make you a loaf of bread. But for real, seriously, that's where we're at. Seriously, that is where we are at. And I've come to realize now that I am not going to try to get folks to, we need to work together. If you haven't figured that out yet, then we already know where you're at. And you're not here. You're not watching me. I'm not going to say that there is a big old camp, just come on over, I'm not doing that anymore. At this point, you have to figure it out. I'm a Gen X girl. Figure that shit out, because you had time to figure out before that this was not working out well for you, and now you're poor just like us. Hmm. But no, no, no. When I went to church on Sunday, I was talking about um, building materials, and so I'm going to build some flower beds, and I said I just picked up a bunch of logs so I can cut down into 2x4s and 4x4s. And Deacon goes, "We're not poor." I said, "No, we're not poor. We're resilient. That's what we are. That's what we have to become to be." Now, I need everyone to understand that. I really hope that we're all on this same page right now, that it is time to cut stuff out. Right now, we are too poor to go pick up free shit because it costs gas. Okay? When you have to think in that mindset, that's where you need to be at this moment in time. Okay? All right. So, like, if you don't have a gift card that got gifted to you for Christmas for Starbucks, you don't need to be over at the Starbucks. A number nine at the McDonald's now is over $10. That used to be the cheapest meal you can get on the regular menu. The two cheeseburger meal? No, no. We're too poor for that. We're too, we are. We are. Just like my mom used to say, you got McDonald's money? I can make McDonald's at home. Hmm. And it's real food. Real food. That food is not real. That food is not real that they have. I have a picture. Okay, so I'll post it on community later, okay? So one of my coworkers had a McDonald's, like, the bagel breakfast sandwich, and he had it in his locker, and he forgot it was there for like a week, and he pulled it out a week later. That thing looked like it was just made. The egg was perfect, the cheese was perfect, the bagel was still perfect. Like, the bacon looked like it just needed to be warmed up. I mean, it looked like, y'all, listen, that food ain't real, okay? Now, as for me and my house, I grow real shit, okay? Real onions, real lettuce. I got I got real meat. I make real bread. Note to self, I need to make a loaf of bread this week. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. The life of convenience is not, it's not tenable no more. It, like, we gotta start thinking about how I remember growing up in the 80s. And I'm a 70s child, but all I remember is the 80s. And the 80s was, we didn't throw away nothing. We ate leftovers until they were gone. Um, like, we had to, on Sunday morning, when it was time for breakfast, or Saturday morning, whatever, I didn't have to go to school, Mama would make pancakes. And sometimes there was no butter or no syrup, and you had to figure out how to make it sweet. And we did not complain because it was food. It was food. And Mama always made it taste good. And we lived in a nice suburban, all white neighborhood. Yes, we were the streets token. But my parents worked their asses off to get into that space. And we could never go out acting like we didn't have nothing. You know, like, because we were blessed. We were blessed. Okay, I'm out. I'm done with that memory lane right there. And but I forgot where I was. Oh, it's time to regress back to the 80s. And I mean, I don't know. I've been thinking about like how our grandparents did it, you know? Um how to reuse one chicken for the whole week. The first day was the chicken, the second day was pull the chicken for sandwiches, the third day was take that carcass and the skin and fat, put it in water and boil it out and make it into a bone broth for some soups. I mean, they did what they had to do and they did it right. And maybe there was something to that. So, all right, let me get back to my point. Um, I mean, if y'all got it like that, and you know, have to, then more power to you. But I had to sit down today and have a conversation with my husband, and was like, baby, you know, listen, um, I'm gonna cut off my Prime membership. We both have Prime. We don't need two Primes. I'm cutting Prime off, and we shouldn't even be on Prime anyway. I understand why we have it, but I ain't trying to give Bezos no more monies, you know. And I really don't care about the Amazon. Like we ain't supposed to be there anyway. I have not used. Every time I see that subscription pop into my bank account, I get mad as hell because I haven't used it. I haven't used it. You know, I well anyway. Let me get off that. So that happened there, and then I was just thinking about like I was I was watching one of the my fellow YouTubers, and he was talking about what Lindsey Graham was talking about black people in the South, in South Carolina. And this man, I found it in the Guardian. So I'm gonna bring my receipts if I want to talk about somebody. Um, Said that black people can go anywhere in the South if they're conservative. So let me give you some context on that. And so he was at like this debate, or it was supposed to be a debate, but it ended up being like an interview. And this is back, let me see when this is back at, in 2020, okay? So this is how long this man has felt this way. It was a televised campaign event, and the question was if he believed um, that that South Carolina is a racist state, and he said, "Do I believe our cops are systematically racist?" That wasn't the question, but whatever. Then he says, "No, I do. I believe South Carolina is a racist state." No. Let me tell you why. To young people out there, young people of color, young immigrants, this is a great state. But one thing I can say without any doubt is you can be an African American and go to the Senate, but you just have to share our values. And okay, our values. What are your values? If you're young, African American, or immigrant, you can go anywhere in this state. You just need to be conservative and not liberal. Okay, so you want us to be how you want us to be. We can't be any way. Gosh, doesn't that sound like, I don't know, slavery? With, you know, what's your name? Kunta Kinte. What's your name? And he whipped him, and so he took on Toby. So we're gonna get beat until we say our name is Toby. Is what you're trying to say, Lindsay, right? And 80%. Let me make sure I have the right um, uh, statistics here before I give you that, because I have to come with receipts, right? And okay, all right, 80% of black voters still identify or lean towards the Democratic Party. 80%. That is, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. Okay, so now we see our corruption and our racism. Now let's get to something else today. This morning, I'm sorry, this afternoon, I'm watching, I was just like just doing stuff. And um, I came across a Don Lemon short. And he told us to check out his live at 5. He has some things to tell us that has to involve us about his court case. Come find out, the government tried to subpoena a warrant to Don Lemon's podcast subscribers. They tried to get a warrant on anyone who was subscribed to uh, his YouTube channel. So, luckily, luckily, that warrant was not approved. It was shut down, and the judge found it warrantless. And but just so we know, oh, I gotta look at my cat here. She is silly. Okay. Um, what does the government want with his subscriber list? Now, I thought about that and I said, well, number one is to find out who is subscribed to him. You get the information of who it is, too. And also, you see who funds him. And it's a way of it to intimidate the people by not watching him. See how they just fucking with our First Amendment? We can't watch who we want to watch. We can't donate to who we want to donate to. Think about that. That, I don't know how many subscribers he has. It's like in the millions, I think. But like for real, now you're going to go after the people to suppress independent news. But what, you mad because nobody trying to watch CBS or Fox News no more? Nobody wants your cable news no more? Anybody? No networks? No, no, no. We just want to see the weatherman when it's tornado time. Hmm. And hopefully your state still has their weather balloons. Mine doesn't. Oh, okay. So then let me pull this up real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Let me. We're just gonna. We're just going off the cuff over here today, okay? Um. Okay. Of all the things, guys, all the things. Is this one? This one just got me today. Delaney Hall over in Jersey. It's that ICE detention center. Hmm. The one that their food has worms in it. Nobody can get in to uh, investigate it, to walk through it. It's managed by Core Civic, um, and it's one of them pay. It's private. It's a private prison. There's so let's talk about the conditions of the center. And there's sanitation issues, no medical care, overcrowding. Um, it keeps saying it meets federal standards, but apparently regular prisons doing way better than this is. Um, there's people who are miscarrying, pregnant women miscarrying in there, and they're not getting any health care. I mean, it's bad in there. And what gets me is the state representatives can't go in to check anything out. I don't know why the governor isn't just shutting it down, just sitting a warrant, putting the police in there, whatever, and just shutting it down. That ain't happening. I don't know. Um, these people have been begging, begging to self deport or get their immigration rolling. But no, no, they're up in there with no due process, and they are being, they have to work. It's a concentration camp. It is come on, guys. Now, y'all haven't figured out what's going on with these things yet. It's a concentration camp. Straight up. I mean, it's literally, why can't they deport the people? They've been in there all this time. If they're not legally supposed to be here, why aren't they being deported to back home, or to wherever they asked to go to? Why aren't they being allowed to self deport for that $2,000 that they said they was going to get self deport? They're not given the opportunity to. They're scooping these people up, putting them there before they even have the opportunity to go and get the heck out of here. So like, Come on. It is what it is. And the thing is, there are so many and so many being built. And I talked about this on the last podcast. I only got 2 views. I don't understand uh, how I can do a video that same day about gardening and it can get so many views and thumbs ups. But when I talk about the 14th Amendment and the Convention of States, nobody wants to listen or hear me. Is that too boring? I don't understand. That's literally where they're taking us at this point. They're literally gearing up to roll back the 14th Amendment, okay? And the 13th Amendment is happening right here, that these people are up into these, they are putting people in prisons to make them slaves. How more obvious is it? How more obvious is it? They're calling it a crime. It's a misdemeanor, okay? Until they change the law, it is still just a misdemeanor. So send them back. Do not torture them in a concentration camp and make them work for nothing. They have no. They're working them until they die. There are the food is rancid and full of insects. There's other things eating their food for them. Literally. Okay. So the people inside are on a hunger strike and a no labor strike. And I have no clue what the conditions are like for them, how dangerous it is for them, because we're not there. We can't see it. But there are people outside that there are lawmakers outside that are getting pepper sprayed by ICE. They are fighting the good fight over there. They are protesting peacefully in that street. Peaceful does not mean silent. This is where this country is going. And if you have not figured that out, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody who should be watching me, I have been nice and trying to I've been trying to talk to and relate to folks from a Midwestern point of view, but now it's a yo, obviously people are picking racism. Obviously people are picking corruption. I feel that I have been going through the grieving stage of America. That's what I've been going through. I am at that point of acceptance. And I'm not saying I accept what's happening and I'm gonna, just lay down and just, obey in advance and conform. No, no, hell no. What I'm saying is I'm at the point of acceptance that this is the reality of the situation. I'm at the reality of everyone has picked a side. I'm at the reality that at this point, if you don't have a support system, then it's too late for you. Hurry up. If you're watching me and you don't have a support system to get through what we're about to go through, if you don't have like minded people in your surroundings that you can like call up on the phone, hey homie, can you help me like make some laundry soap this week? Then hey homie, you want to go for go work out this week? Also listen, okay, so speaking of working out, now I'm a big girl and I used to be bigger. Ah, I have this little new setup, so I sorry about that. Um, I used to be bigger, and then I was paralyzed from. Well, I lost a lot of weight. When I got paralyzed, I gained a lot of weight back due to a lot of fluid on my spine and all that stuff, right? And not moving for months, right? And when this shit started happening, I was like, Lord, please do not let me be crippled during the apocalypse. And if it is your will, teach me how to do this. Teach me how to do this. And first thing I did was pray every day. Every day. I mean, all day. Because nobody else was here. My husband was at work all the time. I got I had the animals. I mean, you can only talk to them so much, you know. So me and God, we just talked. We talked a lot. We got a lot. We had a great discussion every single day. A lot of things in perspective. He helped me figure some things out, and I went to physical therapy 4 days a week. 4 days a week. Leg day, an hour a day. And then the rest of the days that I wasn't in physical therapy, I was doing physical therapy. It took me 6 months to walk again. Not pretty. Not pretty at all. By month like 9, 10, I was to the point of like, my legs still got tired, but I was working full time. You know, I tried to do whatever I could do. I was finally off of a cane. I put the cane down. By month 12, shoot, I could jog in place. And got good. Listen. And that's when I knew my purpose. I knew my purpose at that point. I knew that my purpose was that I am going to be a recorder of an extraordinary history. I am going to be a witness to the fight of good and evil. I'm going to either watch America's triumph or America's downfall. And I best get ready for it. So when they said that black folks, it's rest period, I used that time to do exactly what it was for, to get ready and to mentally prepare and to write down a system of how you get through it when you don't even know what's coming. All you have is history. And I had to make sure that I didn't get lost in it. That's a lot to know where you're planted at, know where you can't get lost through, and be able to come back to yourself. And yourself has changed. We have changed. And I've said that before, but I really mean it. I really mean it. You know, because you're sacrificing things that you don't know you're sacrificing. You're sacrificing relationships. You're sacrificing the old you. You're sacrificing um, time not spent where it needed to be spent because you've gone into survival mode. Meanwhile, compartmentalizing the best part of yourself to still put out there into the atmosphere. And still having all of your own personal shit and your backdrop. That is a lot. That's a lot to put on a person. It's a lot to put on a person. And when I say that, think of everyone who has woken the hell up who feels just like me, who just want to go on a vacation, but there's no money to go on a vacation because the bills are too high. There's too much debt because there's not enough money. You can't go anywhere because the gas costs too much. Every grocery store um, uh, trip is a minimum of $130. And no, you're not going to have a whole bunch of bags. You're going to have dog food, cat food, and I'm not talking anything like Iams or Rachel Ray Nutrish. I'm talking about dog chow, cat litter, flour, cornmeal, sugar, eggs, half and half. I did get some Susie Q's, y'all. I did get some Susie Q's. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And some fudge rounds. Do y'all remember when the box of Little Debbie's? Now, this tells you how old I am. The box of Little Debbie's, not the big box that they got, but like the small one. It used to be $1 for that box. Why is it that that box costs the same as the box of Hostess? Hostess used to be the expensive stuff. The mom, can I get a Twinkie? You better get you a Little Debbie Star Crunch. Remember that? When it used to be only 25 cents for the oatmeal cream pie, and it was this big. Hmm. Yeah. Now they're like 75 cents, 84, I don't know. Yeah, for that. But anyway, there's a lot happening. The White Walkers, that's what I call them. They're setting up recruiting offices at the employment office, at on college campuses. College campuses. Not only do we have to have Turning Point at every college campus, now we have to have the White Walkers at the college campuses. And that just makes me feel that these kids are not safe in the places where they need to be safe, to feel safe. Now they have to worry about their fellow classmen, um, you know, being the secret police and turning them in because of the color of their skin. Or if they have a hijab on, or if speak a different language. Listen, y'all. Make sure that you are getting ready mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever you can put aside, because these fools, they're acting crazy. These people that we're supposed to trust to do the right thing in power has no clue what the right thing is. All they know how to say is Biden or Obama. They don't know how to take accountability for their own selves. That's called entitlement. It's called excuses. So I could be at work and I could, you know, be slow and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't feel like, I'm sorry this happened. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. It this happened or they did that. Well, what's that got to do about me being slow? Stop trying to blame everybody and play the victim and do your job that we asked you to come in to do. You are a civil servant. Yeah, y'all are the new DEI government. You got crazy people calling shots, talking about ballrooms and arches, giving giving all these people that did insurrections, that offering them money just to be criminals. Some of them have already gone to jail again. Y'all had to unalive one of them, you know, because he was criming. I just don't understand. But at the end of the day, we're gonna be all right. So what I need everybody to do is, primary is not over. Our primary is in June 2nd. So like, if y'all can still early vote, drop off your ballots. If you do not feel safe, going on election day, make sure that you dropped your ballot. Um, don't Not in the mail, y'all. Not in the mail. We don't trust the mail. Just go up to the treasurer's office and just put it in the, or your Democratic or whatever. I think I know who I'm talking to, but whoever y'all need to drop it off to take it physically there and just drop it. Okay, all right, yeah. But this year, take advantage of your early voting. If you do not feel comfortable come midterms, take advantage of that. Go and scope out the test ballot. Um, See who's on your ballot. See who's there. That way you can do your research on what they stand for. Do you align with their values? Now I want to tell y'all, not every candidate is. You will never find the perfect candidate. You won't. You simply won't. You won't find the perfect candidate. You'll always. We are judgmental people. For no, that's why we can't get nothing right done. But don't just don't look for perfection, because you're not perfect either. You gotta remember that we're all humans, and humans are running for office. Find who aligns with you and your values and vote for them. Not all, now I'm talking to Democrats, not all skin folk are kinfolk, okay? Just because they are Democrats don't mean they Democrats. Some of them are wolves in sheep's clothing. I know that my values are no data centers. I am not, I have seen what data centers have done to the environment and to our natural resources. I am a grassroots person. I am not a fan of people who, you know, um, take PAC money and lobby money. Um, I don't do no Nazi shit, and be for the people. It's pretty simple. It's really pretty simple because what affects one affects all. And the only people who are getting richer right now is the 10%. Sorry, the 1%. The 1%, they're the one who is getting richer. The rich, the billionaires, people that we do not associate with. People that have never, will never come down our street, knock on our door, and shake our hand. People that are even, people that are, people that say that we should be grateful for their accomplishments. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think I got everything out of my head. I know there was more, but you know, we are done with rest period, black folks. I hope you was doing what you needed to do during that time. Get up. I know the folks that I roll with, you know, join within your communities. Engage with your communities. Meet your neighbors. Throw a black party. You know, do some mutual aid. See who's in need. See where you can help. So at the end of the day, we are who we got. The people. Oh, yeah. And make sure you read your Constitution. That is my thoughts right now. Read your Constitution. And those folks of faith, read your word. Read your word because that's our Constitution too. Folks of faith, folks of the followers of Jesus. But America, read Constitution. That's my piece of advice. I'm done. It's been an hour. All power to the people. To all the people, all the power. All right? All right. See you next time.